Good morning, Arian. Today's going to be Pocket Queens. We're at a 10 NL game. We are currently playing six-handed, although this is full table. And in this hand, we have everyone folds to me on the button, and I open raise the three big blinds. This is pretty standard. Folds to me. I'm not sure. I've got 219 hands at this table. I'm not sure if I've been this aggressive or what, but if I've been raising in this spot, last 3-4 rounds of the table, then I'm probably not going to be raising this widely. I'm going to tighten up just a little bit because players are going to start getting a little bit more skeptical of the hands that I'm playing. It might actually start 3-betting me more. I want to avoid that. But Pocket Queens easily raising range, and we have the button calls. He's playing 28-16. His VPIP in the big blind's 44. He 3-bets 20%. Call versus 2-bet is 40%, 6 out of 15. Note his call versus a steal is 50%. I'm not sure if he's adjusting versus a steal. I think he's probably just playing his regular hands, which I think is going to be fairly wide in this position because he gets a discount. What kind of hands are we putting him on? I'm going to say something like this. This is 40%. We do know he can 3-bet. Just overall, he could 3-bet, 11%, 8 out of 73. Maybe he had some decent cards, so, he's running good right now. Maybe he's not. Maybe he really is this wide and aggressive. But I do think he's capable of raising, and I think these are the hands that a lot of people would raise in this position. And then we've got a bunch of calls. So we go to the flop of King Queen 6. We connect on a board that is somewhat connected, high cards. This is going to hit a lot of his range. He has the kings, King X suited hands. So obviously no hearts, but he could have backdoor flush potential. He could have straight draw, gut shot draws. Could have, we already said his top pair. Unlikely to have middle pair, since I have two queens. But it's possible. He leads into me, which is interesting, and he leads for one big blind. That's just a very, very, very weak bet. This is, I'm going to exclude two pair. His top pair, I'm going to exclude those better hands and say, yeah, maybe he's going to be betting with some of those kings. Middle pair, I think definitely could be making one of those stupid, and I'm going to call it stupid, one big blind bets. I think that's probably it. 7s, 8s, and 9s, maybe he could bet. I don't know a bottom pair. I mean, maybe bottom pair. Maybe just any of these pairs. I don't think he's doing it with any of his draws, so I think it's definitely going to be something like this. That's his donk range. And the question is, do we raise? Do we call? If I raise, I kind of am representing that I now have a king, and I think the only hands he's gonna call with are the kings. I think he's gonna get rid of everything else. I think that's the problem. And if we do a breakdown, I guess we're gonna, let's change colors here, just so we could see. I think those are the hands that we're looking for. So out of the 31% that he's betting, 12% represent, a king that I think he could call. It's possible that he calls at least once with the queen, but I kind of envision him betting one and then probably betting, donking it small again on the turn. I mean, because I could easily have like ace jack or ace 10 that would definitely call here. Queens are a little bit hidden. I think we could raise. This is a weak enough bet that I think we could raise instead of calling. So if we raise, we're looking at top pair plus definitely. I think we call with queens. Let's see here. We're doing our gut shot. Let's see if we call those. Yeah. You know, raising those aces. Maybe not all of them, but I think we're raising those aces as a bluff. So yeah, kind of raising top pair. And I'm not even sure if we raise all of these top pairs. If we change those to a call, oops. If we change those to a call, it makes it a little bit better. So we are going to have 2 pair plus, or one of these draws, and you can see that we're going to have many more of our draws, but that's okay because he's representing pretty strong weakness. I don't mind calling here with the kings because we could be up against king with a weaker kicker. And I think we could bet our king with a weak kicker and get him to fold a weaker, one that's better than us. But I think we might also be able to get a few more bets out of him. I think I think we could go kind of either way in this as a call versus a raise. Because again, when you see how few of these premium hands we have, it's possible that we just say, okay, we're going to go for all of these calls, and that includes our like 2-card backdoor flush draws. And I think we're going to probably also do like aces. I don't really like calling these middle cards because it doesn't really give us a whole lot to work with. So again, I'm sure we've been seeing him donk. I mean, he has 3 out of 12. And it depends on how we've been playing. If we've been raising, then I think this could be an easy call. 6 of hearts. So now we just set up full house. He bets 1 again. Question is, what is he going to be doing this with again? I exclude 3 of a kind. I don't think he's going to be betting one big blind. I think one of these top pair, middle pairs again. At this point, he's probably putting me on, and even these weak pairs, he's probably putting me on a maybe a draw. Maybe not even these weak pairs anymore. Top pair, middle pair. I don't know, 7, 8, 9. I think that's going to be out. So I think that's it. And the question is, if I raise, do I think he's going to call with any of these? I don't think so. So I think that becomes then we're calling all of these. We figure to be way ahead on these. We call flush draw. I actually think we should probably raise our flush draw here. Raise our open ender. Raise our gut shot. Let's get this down. Let's break that down. Full house. Yeah, I feel like we should be raising. Quads and full house we can call. I think 3 of a kind we probably also call. I think the overpair, 2 pair, top pair are raising to balance these hands, and I think at this point we will have to start raising with those. And then I think the middle pair, pocket pair, weak pair, if he checks on the river, I think that allows us to bet these hands and possibly get like the queen, like if we have this, to get the queens to fold, possibly the kings to fold. We're definitely going to be unbalanced. We've got a lot of these middle pairs, and that's maybe with the middle pairs we're not raising with the ace queen. Yeah, we're not raising with the ace queen. We're not possibly not raising with queen jack. I think it as the bluff we're going like queen 2, queen 3, queen 4. Try to get like the queen 7, queen 8, queen 9 fold and so forth. Oops. So what did I do? Did I raise? I just called. So I'm going to take out some of these hands. And I don't know if this is right or not, but once we turn the full house, I think the check can work, but we're not really getting much in here. I just think his one big blind bet is just not very strong. So now all of a sudden he bets here, and he bets a pot size bet. So it's two things. One, he connected. So once we hit this, he connected. So maybe he was betting with the 7s, 8s, 9s, and he connected with full house right now. Maybe he connected, or he's thinking that we have ace jack, ace 10, or 10 jack, and now that we bet, now that we missed, right? There's no straight. He's betting big. And of course, he could have had a good 2 pair. He could have hit, good 2 pair, bad 2 pair. Just kind of comes down to what is he doing this with, and I do think this is all he has. So he's got more queens. I don't think it matters. I think we're going to be raising here because I don't think he's going to play pocket kings this way. So I think we're going to be ahead. We did 3x's bet. I think that's okay. I think when we do that, he's going to call with these 2 pair, and I think he's going to really think about this top pair hand, the kings. I think he's going to make a call with that. I think he's going to probably call with a good 2 pair and bad 2 pair. He's going to be probably scared of. I'm sure he's going to be scared of trips with those hands. So I think we're looking at 34% of the time he's going to be calling here. If he shoves, then I think we're looking at possibly a good 2 pair here, or maybe even one of those. Maybe we misjudged the mid pair and he hit a full house with 8s full, and he does come over the top. So almost like I'm going to exclude top pair and bad 2 pair and say he's got a minimum of good 2 pair, and then we would have to go back to here and say, would he have continued betting those hands? Because then if he does, then he's got a full house. So we're looking at 6% chance that he has this. And at this point, I think we're pretty solid, unless he shows quads, which I think is unlikely. This is a no-brainer call. He shows 9-6. So he shows trip 6s, which I didn't have in his range because I kind of assumed he would have bet more. So we've got that, and then that was 6 of hearts. We assumed he would have bet more with that 3 of a kind. All right, so with betting more with the 3 of a kind, we had the initial read. Yeah, so now he's got that. That changes it. It changes it quite a bit. Now you've got a lot of 3 of a kind. I'd still say good 2 pair. 3 of a kind. Maybe he does all of this because of straight misses. But he's definitely going to be calling with at least a good 2 pair plus. So I didn't want to take a look at the hands here because I knew call 2 bet from blinds range, and I would have picked out 9-6. 7-4 doesn't play like that, but not so much like his pre-flop play, but definitely the flop play. We need to take a note here. So he call. button steal, 3 big blind from big blinds with 9-6 of spades. And then donk 1 BB. So let's say here he's out of position. Donk 1 BB. Bet 1 BB. Bet 100%. Then raise all in for, I don't know, what was that? Like 100. Raise all in 96 big blinds. On a king of hearts, 6 of diamonds, queen of spades, 6 of hearts, 8 of spades. Okay, so we get that down. Is there anything different for this hand? Anything I would play different? We could easily have raised. I think if we raise the flop, it gives him a reason to fold. So I think just by calling that 1 big blind with our premium hands, it allowed us to take his stack. And you know, that's kind of what I said when we made it to here. We looked at all of his ranges. Yeah, we could have had these, could have just called, and we could have raised everything else. But the donk is just so weak that, you know, I think it's better to donk with, or to raise those with some of our weaker hands and some of our draws, because, you know, if he folds, hey, that's fine. We bought his equity share because we didn't really have that, but to kind of balance that so that we're not, we can't be exploited. We do have to raise some of our premium hands, and we do that. So it's not just this guy; it could be other people that where we see the donks, we raise, and we raise normally. But this 1 big blind, I'm gonna guess this is pretty common for this player, that I've been seeing him lead that 1 big blind, and I just said, you know, it's standard. I'm gonna call him, and he probably wins some money that way. What's his overall? I mean, he's lost. This is a big chunk of his loss, but I bet overall he tends to win pots because he makes this play. People fold to him, fold to that 1 big bet, big bet. All right, hopefully you enjoy this hand. If you do, look tomorrow for another.